Author and intimacy expert Laura M. Brotherson, host of the Marital Intimacy Show, educates and inspires women to create a mutually fulfilling, intimate, and passionate marital relationship, emotionally, spiritually, and sexually.
Hi there. Welcome to the Marital Intimacy Show, available at themaritalintimacyshow.com. My name is Laura Brotherson. Thanks for tuning in today. Well, we get to talk about sex again today. How fun is that? The title of this episode, number 34, is Body Image and Lovemaking, Part 2. So let's get started. In our last episode, Part 1, we talked about how body image issues impact lovemaking, especially as it relates to our husbands. And we'll continue what we started there in this episode. In the next episode, we'll continue this discussion, but focus on how to make peace with your body and more confidently and thoroughly embrace the sexual experience of lovemaking. So I've already talked about how prevalent body image issues are for women and how feeling and being sexy is more of an attitude or a state of mind than how you look. It's about loving and accepting yourself, regardless of your size and shape or in spite of your size and shape. We also talked about how much body image issues can impact lovemaking and especially our husbands, since they tend to be even more physically and visually wired than most women. And I mentioned I'd share an email with you from a husband regarding this subject, and he's got a great message from husbands to all wives. Here's what he had to say. I appreciate you tackling these intimate subjects. One issue I know my wife has is a body image issue. One night I mentioned as lightly as possible that I really missed seeing her wear something sexy. She then said, I don't like my body right now. And I told her I thought she looked great. My wife is beautiful and amazing. She's the mother of 6 children, takes very good care of her body, and I find her very attractive. I tell her this, and it seems to just bounce off. I've always felt this way about her throughout our whole marriage, especially when she was pregnant. I'm sure you have addressed this, but I wish you could tell our wives that we love them and find them attractive. They are sexy to us, especially when they feel sexy themselves. Please let women know that we think our wives are beautiful and wish they wouldn't be so hard on themselves. We love them just the way they are. The world's view, the media, the tabloids, etc., are so unfair to women. It is really sad. I wish our wives knew that when they feel sexy and show it, even just sometimes in intimate and even non-intimate settings, we are butter in their hands. They have a real power there." End quote. This issue of wives believing their husbands and how they see us, this is a real struggle for a lot of couples. Husbands think their wives are beautiful and attractive, regardless of her being overweight or whatever. But it's just so hard for his wife to believe her sometimes. Often his words do not penetrate his wife's heart. If she does not believe this about herself, a husband just can't always convince his wife of something that she just simply cannot or will not believe herself. She must believe she is attractive in order to receive his compliments. And this illustrates the distorted body image that many women have, because they truly are beautiful, but maybe because they just don't look exactly like what they see in the magazines, which is so unrealistic and so impossible for 99% of women to achieve, that it's hard for her to hear the compliments and the way he truly feels about her. But I was delighted to read the following comments from a woman who has had a sexual awakening, if you will. And she shares her experience of finally beginning to believe what her husband had been trying to say for years. Here's what she had to say. After having somewhat of a revelation that God wanted to bless our marriage bed, I also had a revelation about how beautiful I was to my husband. I suddenly realized how much he desired me, and I believed him when he told me how beautiful I was to him. I didn't resent it if he wanted my body because I knew that my soul was part of the package. He wanted all of me, and it was a good thing." End quote. You know, there's actually some really good news about the way men are wired compared with women, even though some may not see it that way at first. Now, I talk about this in Chapter 5 of my book, And They Were Not Ashamed, where I suggest that men tend to be more, or initially, about the physical dimension of sex than the emotional. And related to that, men tend to also be attracted to the body itself. Now, what this translates into for the benefit of their wives is that men are simply turned on by their wives and their bodies, regardless of whether they are in perfect shape or not. You know, certainly men are susceptible to the media's conditioning about what is considered sexy, but thankfully our husbands are more interested in the woman they are married to and can actually have sex with than that she look like a supermodel. Your husband doesn't need you to have a perfect body to be thoroughly attracted to you and to want you. Nor do they need you to have a perfect body to thoroughly enjoy having sex with you. I hope women can really get that and understand that about their husbands and see that as the blessing that it is. Well, there you have it. I hope you can see a little better now how body image issues can really wreak havoc in the sexual relationship of marriage. We've talked about how feeling sexy does not have to be contingent on how you look, and how body image issues have a particular impact on our husbands as well. In our next episode, we'll talk more specifically about what we can do now to make peace with our body and improve our body image so that we can be a sexually confident wife just the way we are, regardless of our size and shape. This has been episode number 34, Body Image and Lovemaking, Part 2, on the Marital Intimacy Show with Laura M. Brotherson. Thanks for tuning in today. We'll be back next week with more great insights for strengthening your marriage. And be sure to check in at our website, strengtheningmarriage.com, to learn more about strengthening your marriage intimately. And if you haven't connected with us on Facebook yet, be sure to join us on our Marital Intimacy Show page and our Strengthening Marriage Inc. page as well. Until next time, this is Laura Brotherson with the Marital Intimacy Show on the Women's Information Network. Have a great day and make yours a great marriage.